Welcome back to the Cossy channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. It has been a very big week for Arsenal. We have completed 2 deals within 72 hours, but the incoming weeks are even bigger as we are now progressing onto the bigger deals. Arsenal are moving to send a centre-back, a centre-forward, and a left winger. 2 deals done this week, already completed. Kepa has done his medicals. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. He will be announced as Arsenal player. If you have not seen that video, you can go check it out. It's already on the channel. And as well, Christian Nogard is flying in to do his medicals at Arsenal. They will all be announced together with Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal, for the first time, could actually announce 3 players at the same time. Our transfers took a bit of a dip in June, and I think that's because Arsenal didn't want to send players early and pay their wages in June. We just wanted to wait a little bit longer, wait for July, and then by the time you're in July, pre-season is here, the new season is also here, you can go and do your deal. So we can confirm this week that the 2 deals for Kepa and the man himself, Christian Nogard, are done. Arsenal are now moving to the next 2 deals. And the next 2 deals are actually very, very crucial. The first one is that of a centre-back. Now, the centre-back deal is important because Mikel Arteta last season almost ran out of centre-backs. This Arsenal team is so reliable. We've got a reliable number of defenders at the team at the moment. Lewis Kelly at left back, Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney, all those are left backs. Then at right back, you have Tomiyasu, Timber and White. At centre back, you've got Calafiori, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. So if you count the centre backs and left backs and right backs Arsenal have, that is a number that is close to 12, honestly, right? Because we have 3 at the left back, we have 3 at right back, that is 6, and we have 4 at centre back. That makes it 10 defenders. But last season, this Arsenal defense was literally hanging by a thread. Saliba picked up an injury at some point in time. Gabriel also picked up an injury towards the back end of the season, and we had to see Kivio and Calafiori, be lined up as the centre-back partnership. Now, that wasn't bad, but I think it sent a signal to Mikel Arteta that there's some players that you cannot trust anymore, because if Takaro Tomiyasu was available and he was fit, he would have come in handy. His skills, his talent, and his availability would have come in handy. But Arsenal didn't use the services of Tomiyasu because he wasn't available. So what Mikel Arteta has decided, let me go out there and sign another defender. And Christian Mosquera is a very interesting profile because he's one of those players that come in as, he is a centre-back, right? But a centre-back that plays across the line. A bit of Virgil van Dijk, if you wish. Virgil van Dijk can play on the left, can also play on the right of the centre-back position. It's the same with William Saliba. We have seen him play on the right-hand side of the defence at Arsenal, and also on the left-hand side of the defence for France. So Arsenal are now progressing onto their next deal after Christian Nogard and Kepa, and that is Christian Mosquera. Now, this is a deal Arsenal should be able to get out of the way as quickly as possible. It's not a deal that's going to drag on. It's a deal that should not be dragging on because all the clubs, RB Leipzig, Leverkusen, all the clubs that are interested are no match to Arsenal. Like, Arsenal should be able to bully Leipzig. We should be able to bully, Leverkusen off this deal. That's number 1. Number 2, the player is keen to join Arsenal and put up a challenge against Saliba and Gabriel. And I want to dispute a contrary belief that if Arsenal sign a defender today, they wouldn't actually play as much. Well, I don't think so. In my recent video, I've just calculated that Arsenal have a minimum of 50 games across the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and the Champions League. A minimum of 50 games that are guaranteed. And that does not include the knockout rounds of the Champions League. That does not include if Arsenal progress to the next round after the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and it also doesn't include whether Arsenal progress into the deeper rounds of the Carabao Cup. So Arsenal could have a minimum of 50 games, but we could have a maximum of 60 games. We could have a maximum of 62, 63 games come next campaign. So I think a new centre-back is going to play. And Christian Mosquera will be told this very clearly. That's why I think that this deal is going to progress as quickly as the Kepa deal, as quickly as the Christian Noga deal. Mikel Arteta's made it very clear he wants all his signings to come before September the 1st. That is the truth. Before September the 1st. And arguably, Mikel wants all his signings to be done before preseason. Now, that might be a little bit too demanding, right? But of course, he's dealing with Andre Bata. Bata is one of the best guy in the world in terms of breaking deals. So if you're dealing with one of the best in the world at breaking deals and you are a demanding manager, I think that is quite a very good partnership. If you asked me, Cossy, who is going to be Arsenal's fourth signing of the summer? I'm sorry, I want to say it's a centre forward. I'm sorry, I want to say it's Sesko or Gyökeres. But like we shall see, where we are at the moment with Sesko and where we are at the moment with Gyökeres, there is a reason as to why Arsenal's fourth signing of the summer is going to be a centre-back. Here's why. So the two centre-backs that Arsenal are really focused on right now, Gerard Hato and Christian Mosquera. Hato wants to join Arsenal. Christian Mosquera wants to join Arsenal as well. Personal terms not a problem for Gerard Hato. Personal terms not a problem for Christian Mosquera. Now that leaves us with a price, and that leaves us with where do Arsenal really have an upper hand in negotiation? When it comes to Gerard Hato, he's got a longer contract. More years left on his contract, and that means that Ajax have enough bargaining power. They've got enough power to sit and say, listen, our player's got 2-3 years on his deal. We are going to demand as much as 50 million euros. That is on the side of Gerard Hato. On the side of Christian Mosquera, there is a lot of clubs interested, right? But none of these clubs is willing to pay a lot of money. But the competition alone might make Valencia feel, well, if Bayern are there, and Arsenal are there, and Leverkusen are there, and maybe potentially you could throw in a Manchester United. And I'm surprised, by the way, guys, I'm sorry. I'm surprised that Manchester United, the team with the worst defense among the top 6, is not trying to do this deal. Like, how dare you, as Manchester United, sit back and fold your hands while the best defensive team in the league, in Arsenal, are trying to sign Gerard Hato and Christian Mosquera? How dare you sit and fold your hands? Are you mad? Right? But with Christian Mosquera, there is a lot of competition, on the deal. So maybe Valencia are like, okay, there's a lot of competition, let's drive the price up. Why the Christian Mosquera deal is going to happen, other than the Gerard Hato deal, in terms of if Arsenal really want them as centre-backs, is this. Christian Mosquera has got 12 months left on his contract, and Valencia might not want to lose him on a free. That is it. Valencia will not want to lose him on a free. He's entering his final final months of his contract, and it is too early. Valencia could get 15 million or 20 million and go out there and replace Christian Mosquera with any talented player like Jakub Kivio, like Osman Diamonde. They could get anyone. It is too early in the window. They have the whole of July and they have the whole of August. If this deal was trying to be done mid-August, maybe Valencia would be like, listen, let us keep him for 1 more year, let him go for free, rather than losing him and failing to replace him. So I think the Christian Mosquera deal is easier. Personal terms not a problem. Player wants to join. Arsenal pushing. Valencia are selling. This deal is in the right direction. Like, it is progressing in the right direction. Now, Arsenal have not made a bid yet, but talks are ongoing, and it is believed a deal could happen as Arsenal are now ahead of Bayern, Leverkusen, and RB Leipzig. So 2 deals done. A third one is incoming. Now, there is what we call an inevitability. And Arsenal signing a centre forward this summer is inevitable. Whatever Mikel Arteta and Andre Bata do, I dare you, don't sign a centre back. You will see. I mean, sorry, don't sign a centre forward. You will see. So it is inevitable that Arsenal sign a centre forward. It is inevitable that Arsenal bring a guy that can score goals. Apart from the fact that Arsenal conceded more goals in the 24-25 campaign, Arsenal also scored less goals as compared to the 23-24 campaign. That means that Arsenal had two problems. Problem number one, our defensive structure and our inability, our ability to limit teams to score goals had actually loosened a bit, right? So Mikel has now strengthened with 4 defensive options. Kepa to psychologically allow Raya to keep up his game. Christian Nogat and Zubimendi to replace the outgoing Jorginho and Partey. And then we are now bringing in Christian Mosquera as a backup to Saliba, most importantly, because he's one of the most important members of this Arsenal team. Now, the other problem is scoring goals, right? Mikel Arteta and Andre Bata, thank you so much. We have had enough of defensive signings. Jesus Christ. This team, with the speed at which we sign defensive players, it needs to be documented. Like, I think Mikel Arteta needs to go to the Guinness Book of Records. The speed with which he signs defensive options, this needs to be documented. But now, it is time to do the real work. After Christian Mosquera comes in, the next on the line is a centre forward. Unless we are going to see Arsenal, again, go for Gerard Hato. That would be crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal go for Gerard Hato. Like I said, you're losing 3 left-sided defenders. Tomiyasu is not available, Zinchenko is leaving, Kieran Tierney is also going, and Kivia could leave. So I won't be surprised if Arsenal lose 4 defenders and sign 2 defenders this summer. I won't be surprised at all. But after that, it is time to dance, right? There is all this piano play. It has been, sweet melodies have been played. It is time to dance to the tunes. And the real tunes are a centre forward and a left winger. Now, I'm not going to talk about the left winger position today because it's gonna take some time. But with the centre forward issue, why I think that Arsenal are going to progress on this one quickly as well, Fabrizio has chosen his side, right? Yesterday, Sami Makpo was on one of the Arsenal podcasts, and he was saying that, well, if you asked people internally at Arsenal, you would have nearly universal backing, right? You'd have nearly universal backing to the signing of Sesko. And Fabrizio is now leaning towards Sesko joining Arsenal rather than Gyökeres joining Arsenal. I can see Fabrizio becoming very subjective. I can see him. He talked about Sesko following Arsenal on Instagram. For a big journalist that has got big sources, he either knows something, and that's why that act of Sesko following Arsenal on Instagram makes sense, or this is a done deal that we are just waiting to to announce. But I can see that the direction of Fabrizio is pointing towards Benjamin Sesko. Now, the Benjamin Sesko deal, guys, is not so easy. And yes, I've put its clause because I know Arsenal are going to seal this deal. But it is not easy at the moment. RB Leipzig are still saying they have got their checkbook, right? And they're looking at the players they want to sign, right? They wanted to sign Christian Mosquera, number 1. They have to replace Benjamin Sesko. They have to replace Xavi Simons as well. Are they losing one centre back as well? I think they're losing one of their centre backs too, right? So Leipzig want a lot of money for Sesko, and they're saying we want to use the money for Benjamin Sesko to fund our transfer business. Give us more money. And Arsenal saying that is none of our business. If you want to do business, if you want to reinvest in your squad, it doesn't mean that Arsenal have to overpay for Benjamin Sesko. So there is still a bit of a wobble there when it comes to Arsenal and Leipzig agreeing on terms of a fee. And then of course you've got the structure and things like that. That's number one. Number two, Arsenal want two forwards, right? Arsenal want two forwards. If you sign Sesko for 80 million euros, that would be a massive chunk of our budget gone, right? And remember what Arsenal have done, and this is superb from Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta. I'm going to tell you something what we've done here. What Arsenal have done, they've made sure that they sign the players that would take all the pocket change. Let's say Mosquera costs 20 million, plus 15 million for Nogard. This is euros. Plus 66 for Zubimendi, plus 5 for Kepa. Okay. So these four signings would have cost Arsenal 106 million. That is mad. That is crazy. 106 million for these four signings only. But if Arsenal really have about 200 million to spend, that means that we could spend about 100 million on a left winger and a centre forward, and it's going to work out. So I think the Benjamin Sesko deal is going to take some time. Arsenal want to first sign all these other players in these other positions, and then look at how much we are left with, do some sales, and then spend serious money. So 2 deals done, 3 deals done in total. Let's wait and see which are the other 2 deals that Arsenal are going to complete first. But we are now ticking, and we are now in the